I'm very stubborn, and sometimes my pride can get the best of me. I have this built-in motivation to pursue more. When I started to learn computer programming, oh so many years ago, I started by learning RPG Maker. I made some RPGs in it, and I was so happy to get a player moving on the screen. But once I got the gist of it, I was no longer satisfied with using the program. I moved on to Unity, making 2D and soon 3D games with it. I used Unity very early in its development and thought I was getting pretty good at it when it happened again. One of the last projects I made in Unity was a 3D multiplayer voxel first-person shooter with level creation and sharing. That'd be a good mobile game name. I was pretty proud of it, but it felt limited by Unity in some way. Instead of learning how to fix my problems with Unity, I moved on to Java, where with it I made my very first game engine using the lightweight Java game library with OpenGL. It was alright. I didn't make many games with it, maybe one or two, but I learned a lot about the various parts that go into game engine creation. It gave me a much greater appreciation for programs like Unity. Something interesting about my first few game engines is that some of them were actually graphically better than Unity's defaults. But it was short-lived. Unity got some fancy graphics updates and there was no way I can compete. But that didn't stop me from continuing my development. I was at the point where I added JBullet to my engine for real-time physics simulation when I noticed that I started to lose frames after adding only a few spheres. I wouldn't have known what to do if it were not for a friend of mine that let me know about a little programming language called C++. And in my consistent stubborn pride to greatness, I jumped ship and started learning C++, my current favorite programming language. This was hard. It really pushed everything I knew to its absolute limit. I honestly didn't think I could make it, but somehow I did. I currently created more game engines than I can count, only one of them actually being usable to some degree. But why stop there? I want to create games with my engine. And with that swiftly said, I set out to create a game with my engine. But where to start? A fan game perhaps. That way it could be free, and I wouldn't have to worry too much about quality hiccups or DRM. Just something free for all. You know who I like? Brutalmoose. I'll make him a game. I sure enjoyed his little web series, Televoid. I should base the game off of that. Well, here I am in a mountain of errors struggling to climb. But I'll remain stubborn and not stop until I reach the top. Did I make a game engine for a fan game?